Welcome to RPG PhD, where we explore the art and science of tabletop role-playing games. I'm Dr. Ben, and today we're taking random encounters to the next level. If you've ever felt like random encounters were just throwaway combat or filler, stick around. We're diving into techniques to make them meaningful, memorable, and a vital part of your adventures. From environmental challenges to recurring NPCs and reflavoring random table results, I'll show you how to turn the unexpected into unforgettable moments at your table. Let's roll into it. Random encounters are a staple of tabletop role-playing games, providing unpredictability and excitement during downtime, travel, or exploration. However, they often fall into the trap of being repetitive combat against unremarkable enemies, becoming more of a chore than an engaging part of the narrative. To elevate random encounters, they should serve a purpose beyond filling time, adding depth to the world, advancing the story, or providing players with opportunities for creativity and character development. While battles are a common focus of random encounters, they are far from the only option. Incorporating a variety of challenges and events makes each encounter unique and engaging, and the environment plays a critical role in achieving this. A random encounter setting should feel like a natural extension of the larger narrative, seamlessly aligning with the story's tone, themes, and setting. When an encounter feels disconnected from the world, it risks breaking immersion, but when it meshes well, it enhances the adventure's depth and cohesion. Thematic consistency is key to designing environments that reinforce the mood of the story. For example, a haunted forest in a horror campaign might be shrouded in dense fog, filled with ghostly whispers and unnerving stillness, creating an ominous atmosphere that complements the plot. In contrast, a random encounter in a high-tech cyberpunk adventure could take place in a neon-lit alley buzzing with flickering holograms and the hum of distant drones, emphasizing the futuristic and gritty tone. Similarly, world-building synergy ensures the environment deepens players' understanding of the world. A desert town struggling with water scarcity can highlight the setting's harshness, while an overgrown jungle teeming with giant predatory plants might hint at the lingering influence of ancient magic or forgotten technology. Environmental challenges can also serve as tools to enhance the plot or provide valuable narrative context. Foreshadowing future events through the environment adds layers of intrigue, such as a storm forcing the party to shelter on an island where they discover evidence of the villain's activity. Revealing story clues can transform a random encounter into a moment of discovery, like solving puzzles in ancient ruins that unveil forgotten history tied to the campaign's mystery. Additionally, the environment can create character moments by reflecting or challenging backstories and arcs. A barren wasteland might echo the emotional desolation of a character seeking redemption, while a vibrant, enchanted grove could evoke a poignant reminder of a lost homeland. The environment also acts as an active participant in encounters, presenting dangers, puzzles, or storytelling opportunities. For instance, in a dense jungle, the party might face a fast-moving river swollen by recent rains, requiring ingenuity to cross safely while dealing with the threat of predators or the risk of losing equipment. In a barren desert, a sudden sandstorm might engulf the players, forcing them to find shelter and navigate through the chaos while uncovering mysterious ruins buried beneath the sands. Such environmental events not only heighten tension, but also provide opportunities for role-playing and problem-solving beyond combat mechanics, enriching the overall experience. By designing encounters that integrate seamlessly with the story, you transform the environment into a vibrant and interactive element of your campaign. Non-combat challenges are an excellent way to test players' skills, creativity, and morals while adding narrative depth to random encounters. These encounters elevate gameplay by weaving them into the overarching story, making each moment feel purposeful and cohesive. To achieve this, every element of an encounter, whether it's an NPC, environmental feature, or moral dilemma, should reflect the central themes and tone of the campaign, reinforcing the larger narrative and immersing players in the world. Thematic consistency is crucial for crafting meaningful encounters. For example, a campaign centered on survival encounters might emphasize scarcity and desperation, such as NPC scavengers fighting over scraps or environmental hazards that challenge players to manage dwindling resources. In a mystery driven campaign, encounters could feature cryptic clues or eerie unexplained phenomena, like ghostly figures vanishing into the mist or ancient symbols etched into a cave wall. For a campaign exploring moral ambiguity, an encounter might present players with a choice, such as whether to protect a corrupt noble from an angry mob or leave them to their fate. These encounters do more than entertain, they immerse players in the story while reinforcing its central themes. To add narrative depth, characters, locations, and events within an encounter must work together to tell a cohesive story. NPCs can reflect or contrast with the campaign's themes, such as a greedy merchant who offers valuable information at an exorbitant price in a story about corruption and power, or a revolutionary NPC who embodies hope in a world of despair. Similarly, the setting should feel like a natural extension of the world, like ancient ruins in a campaign about long forgotten wars, or toxic swamps in a narrative focused on environmental decay. The events of an encounter should advance the plot, reveal lore, or highlight the campaign's central conflict. For instance, in a rebellion-themed campaign, stumbling upon a skirmish between rebels and Imperial soldiers could force the party to choose a side, intervene diplomatically, or avoid the conflict altogether. In a cosmic horror campaign, an encounter with a farmer muttering about strange lights in the sky might foreshadow a larger supernatural threat. Random encounters also provide opportunities to advance subplots and explore characters' backstories. For example, if a character is searching for a lost sibling, an NPC in a random encounter might provide a lead, adding urgency to the personal quest. Similarly, a wandering bard could recount tales of a fabled artifact the party seeks, subtly pushing a side quest forward while enriching the world's lore. Such encounters can also reveal thematic layers, like showcasing systematic oppression and a conflict between peasants and enforcers in a story about societal cycles. These subtle connections make the world feel interconnected and reward players who notice recurring clues. Recurring themes across multiple encounters further strengthen the narrative, such as repeatedly encountering remnants of the past in a story about reclaiming lost history, or witnessing the breakdown of society in a campaign about a rising apocalypse. Incorporating non-combat challenges into these encounters provides variety and engages players in critical thinking. A skill challenge like rebuilding a shattered bridge or finding another way across a massive chasm can test teamwork and creativity. Moral dilemmas, such as deciding whether to help a wounded animal or humanoid at the cost of their supplies, encourage players to weigh their choices carefully. By combining these elements with cohesive storytelling, random encounters transform into powerful tools for enriching the narrative and creating memorable moments. Random encounters can act as small yet impactful narrative beats that add layers to the overarching story or deepen the campaign's world building. By introducing traveling NPCs with their own stories and goals, you create the impression of a living world where other characters move through the same spaces as the players. For instance, a bard crossing paths with the party might trade tales for coin or perform a song that reveals a key piece of lore about the villain they are hunting. Alternatively, a merchant caravan under siege by bandits might reward the party for protection, only to reappear later with vital information or a dangerous secret they've uncovered. These encounters not only enrich the world, but also provide opportunities for unexpected twists and connections. Recurring characters can further enhance random encounters by creating a sense of continuity and investment. A bumbling treasure hunter rescued from a dungeon trap might return later as a competent ally or a rival chasing the same prize. Similarly, a mysterious stranger observing the party in various locations could become a compelling enigma, with their motives slowly revealed over time. These recurring threads transform what might have been a one-off event into a meaningful part of the campaign, weaving encounters into the broader narrative and making the world feel interconnected. Random encounters also serve as opportunities to tie into the central plot, subtly or overtly enhancing player immersion and driving the story forward. In addition to advancing the main narrative, random encounters can further personal or side quests, making player choices feel meaningful and dynamic. A rogue with a bounty on their head might encounter a determined bounty hunter, turning a random roll into a critical moment for their personal storyline. Similarly, while exploring a forest, the party might find a rare herb needed to heal a poisoned NPC they met earlier, tying the encounter to their previous decisions. By weaving side quests and character arcs into random encounters, you ensure that even the smallest moments carry narrative weight and contribute to the campaign's depth. The setting of a random encounter can transform it from a routine event into something extraordinary and unforgettable. By crafting vivid and interactive locations, you create opportunities for players to immerse themselves in the environment and engage with it in meaningful ways. Unique landmarks, for instance, can make encounters stand out while encouraging exploration. A crumbling bridge spanning a glowing magical river teeming with strange creatures not only adds visual intrigue but also introduces tactical challenges to a potential battle. Similarly, a hollowed out asteroid where gravity unpredictably shifts provides a dynamic and fascinating backdrop for any encounter. These distinctive settings invite players to think creatively and interact with their surroundings. In addition to landmarks, incorporating hidden secrets within locations can lead to discoveries that enrich the world and deepen the player's experience. For example, while camping in a forest, the party might stumble upon an ancient stone circle carved with symbols that reveal the history of the region and hint at a buried treasure. In an abandoned factory, the players could uncover old blueprints for advanced technology, offering tantalizing clues about the ambitions of a powerful megacorporation. By rewarding curiosity and exploration, these encounters not only add narrative depth, but also encourage players to engage more fully with the world you've built. When combat is part of a random encounter, it should feel meaningful and connected to the narrative or environment rather than arbitrary. The use of thematic creatures helps reinforce the tone and setting of the world, ensuring that battles feel like a natural extension of the story. For instance, in a swamp, players might encounter shambling undead or creatures that blend into the environment, such as will-o'-the-wisps or crocodilian predators, enhancing the eerie and dangerous atmosphere. In a cyberpunk alleyway, rogue drones or augmented street thugs create a gritty, futuristic vibe that aligns with the genre's themes. Thematic encounters like these immerse players in the setting and make each combat feel purposeful. Linking encounters thematically or narratively can further enhance their significance by creating a sense of cohesion. For example, a series of encounters in a cursed forest might gradually reveal a pattern of corruption, beginning with strange, mutated wildlife, escalating to hostile tree folk, and culminating in a confrontation with a cursed druid at the forest's heart. On a long space journey, the party might face escalating threats from raiders, each encounter providing more clues about a larger faction threatening the galaxy. By weaving encounters together, you build momentum and ensure that even seemingly random events contribute to the overarching narrative, giving every moment a sense of purpose. Reflavoring random encounter roles to fit your campaign can transform generic events into meaningful moments that align with your story's tone and themes. While random encounter tables add unpredictability to your game, their results may not always seamlessly match the narrative you're building. Instead of discarding an out-of-place role, you can adapt its elements, such as the setting, characters, or context, so it feels natural and purposeful within your world. Reflavoring allows you to maintain the spontaneity of random encounters while ensuring they remain cohesive and relevant. When reflavoring encounters, focus on several key principles. Start by considering the overarching themes of your campaign, such as survival, mystery, rebellion, and adjust the encounter to reflect these elements. Next, adapt the setting to fit your world's unique environment, changing physical or cultural details to make the encounter feel grounded. Tie the encounter into ongoing storylines, lore, or character arcs, even through small details, to ensure it connects to the larger narrative. Finally, adjust the mood to fit your game's atmosphere, whether dark and gritty, lighthearted and whimsical, or tense and suspenseful. With these principles in mind, you can turn any random role into a dynamic, thematically consistent event that enhances your campaign. So let's take a bandit ambush, for example. So the original counter is a group of generic bandits. They attack the party, demanding gold or goods. So if we reflavored it for survival, it might be something like the bandits become starving villagers who have resorted to raiding travelers out of desperation. Instead of greed, their motivation is survival, creating a moral dilemma for the players. Reflavored for a mystical forest campaign, the bandits are replaced by enchanted forest guardians who view the party as intruders. The encounter shifts from a robbery to a test of the party's intention and respect for the forest. A wild animal attack might be a A bear attacks the party while they camp in the woods, but reflavored for horror, the bear is twisted and corrupted, its fur matted with unnatural growths, and its eyes glowing with malevolent energy. The encounter hints at the spreading influence of a dark force in the area. Or maybe reflavored for a Fae-themed campaign. The bear is a shape-shifted Fae creature, testing the party's reaction to danger. If the players show mercy or restraint, the Fae rewards them with a cryptic clue about the forest's mysteries. Or maybe you have a traveling merchant, where a merchant offers to sell goods or trade supplies. Reflavored for a post-apocalyptic campaign, the merchant is a scrappy scavenger hauling salvaged goods on a jury-rigged wagon, offering scarce resources at inflated prices. Their inventory reflects the scarcity and desperation of the setting. Or reflavored for a gothic campaign, the merchant becomes a mysterious figure with a hooded cloak and a shadowy demeanor, offering strange and unsettling wares like cursed trinkets or forbidden knowledge. Their motives are ambiguous, leaving the party to wonder if they've made a deal with a sinister force. Or a lost child. A child stumbles into the party's path, claiming to be lost and scared. Reflavored for a dark fantasy campaign, the child is an illusion created by a malevolent entity, luring the party into a trap. The players must discern the truth before walking into danger. Reflavored for a heroic campaign, the child is a young apprentice mage, fleeing from kidnappers or a magical disaster, introducing a subplot where the party can protect and mentor them. To save time during gameplay, you can create your own reflavored encounter table tailored to your campaign's themes and setting ahead of time. In a nautical campaign, standard encounters like wolves or bandits can become shark attacks or pirate raids. In a planar campaign, mundane hazards like storms or floods can be replaced by planar rifts or surges of wild magic. Reflavoring random encounters allows you to preserve the spontaneity of dice rolls while maintaining the integrity of your campaign's tone and story. By focusing on themes, adapting the setting, and tying the encounter to the broader narrative, you can ensure every random event feels like an intentional part of the world. This approach keeps your game immersive, dynamic, and thematically consistent, turning even the most generic encounter into a memorable moment. Random encounters are an opportunity to inject creativity, storytelling, and depth into your tabletop role-playing game sessions. By thinking beyond combat and incorporating environmental challenges, narrative beats, and memorable locations, you can turn what might seem like filler into some of the most engaging moments in your campaign. Whether it's a traveling NPC with a secret, a puzzling environmental hazard, or a foreshadowing event tied to the main plot, every encounter can leave a lasting impression. Treat random encounters as a tool to enrich the world, deepen the story, and invite your players to interact with the unexpected in meaningful ways. And there you have it, a guide to transforming random encounters into something truly extraordinary. Remember, every encounter is a chance to add depth to your world, spark creativity in your players, and create moments they'll talk about for years. If you've got your own ideas for making random encounters awesome, I'd love to hear them. Drop them in the comment section below. And if you enjoyed today's video, be sure to like, share, and subscribe, and hit that notification bell to stay updated on all things tabletop RPG related. Until next time, keep imagining, improvising, and immersing in the world you create. Thanks for watching. See you next time.